Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Fangirls Only. This week, Mason McCarty is on, so thank you so much, Mason, for coming on. It's great having you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm excited to hang out.
I already messed up. I said what I was supposed to say at the end, but it's okay. Oh,
No, yeah, no, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go like, "Can you do that?"
first off, we obviously talk about Terrifier since it literally just came out like last week, I want to say. So,
Yes,
how were you not scared on set? Like, your scene was intense.
it was.
How?
Oh man. I mean, it was daunting for sure because I knew it was coming, and I knew we were gonna. The way the schedule worked was it was like a week of filming where it was just talking, and then it was a week of just dying. So I knew it was coming, but it never made it easier because I knew it was gonna be a crazy sequence and I wanted to do it right. But being scared on set, I have a I'm actually afraid of chainsaws, like badly.
Oh,
Yeah. And like there's a haunted woods near my house that I used to grow up going to in middle school, and at the end of it, four people with fake chainsaws
oh.
come running and chasing you. And I've always been so scared of that. And so I was kind of like, oh, all right, I'm really close and personal with the chainsaw here, but I
I
was
bet,
scared.
I bet you were scared of showering for a bit.
Yeah, I totally went like a couple weeks just out of the water, just all natural.
I
Um,
mean, that was me with Psycho in high school. I watched it in high school. I was traumatized.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I first met Damien, he was like, "We're gonna try to do Psycho meets Scarface," and
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, okay."
so good.
Yeah, and I was just like, "All right, let's go." It was awesome.
Okay. So, have you ever done any horror movies before, or was this your first time doing it?
Not really. No, I
Oh,
I did. I've always loved horror movies. I love like The Thing. I love Halloween, Scream, the 1996 one's one of my favorite movies ever. But yeah, I'd never really done one, and I'd wanted to for a while. I think like the closest thing I really did was something I wrote and produced with my best friend Hunter Romanios, who's an actor and writer. But other than that, no. So I feel like they threw me in pretty into a crazy one here. But yeah.
all right. So, taking a break from the acting questions. So, I know you're a producer and a director for the Day Productions, which is so cool. And you've worked on so many productions over the past years. So, would you like to tell us about that work and your favorite projects so far?
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. I before I fell in love with acting when I was a kid, I really wanted to direct. I really just loved movies and I was really sure that that's what I wanted to do. And then I started doing theater and I fell in love with kind of that aspect of performing. But I started the day because I found myself producing a lot of music videos and a lot of narrative short films and writing and collaborating with a lot of friends here in Nashville. And it just got to a point where I was like, I should probably put a label on this because I wasn't telling anybody about this side of my work. I think people mostly knew me for acting or somewhat producing, but I really fell in love with that on the side of acting. And so it got to a point where I was like, I should probably embrace this. So thankfully I've finally done it and I've moved forward with letting people know that I do that on the side. But I think my favorite project, um, you always fall in love with these ones and for different reasons, but man, there was one music video I did called Change for this artist named Ryman, and I love that one a lot. But Smashing Pumpkins is a Halloween short film I co-wrote and co-directed and acted in, and I love that one. I think that one's totally up the alley of spooky season. It's very fun and cool, so I like that one a lot too.
So again, Terrifier just came out, and that's a huge role for you. But you're also in Stranger Things as Dan Shelter, which is so cool. Two big movie and TV show franchises. Go you.
Ooh, wow, no.
So, can you tell us about your favorite moment for that set or the show, like when you're filming?
Hmm. Oh man, I had so many. That was the most surreal experience of my life. I had no idea that would happen, and I of course wanted something like that show for so many years. But I think my favorite moment must have been um, oh gosh, there's so many. I just remember sitting in this. I was the only new person that day with the lead cast. So
Oh,
my chair was in the circle with Joe Keery, Sadie Sink, Maya Hawke, and just a couple others. And I'm such big fans of them, and they were so welcoming. Like they made it feel like it wasn't weird that I was popping into their world there. But I loved talking to Joe about his music. I thought that was really fun. And talking to Maya about her music, and I thought it was really insightful to see how much I was kind of just like picking their brain. Like it's so cool that they can act, but then they have this other passion that they kind of they do both, and they follow what they love, and it was really cool to talk to them about that. But uh, my favorite experience was probably just actually doing the scene and rehearsing it. It was really surreal just to be there and be with Amy Beth. She's incredible, and it was just a really professional, awesome environment. So there's so many things. Yeah, awesome.
right. So, what got you into acting? Like you've done a lot of projects. So, what got you into?
I think I got into acting. Um, Man, I got into acting when my dad was he was always a movie lover, so he had cameras like he had just like simple kind of cameras around the house, and it got to a point where he would produce little short films with me. And they weren't big at all. They were me and him running around the living room doing stuff. But I remember watching him edit and just being like, this is incredible that you can make a movie like this. And so I think from there I grew into learning the camera that he had and making movies with my friends and doing theater in high school and watching a lot of movies. And I think that's kind of where I got the bug. And at some point, I was like, how do people make money doing this? And so I went down the treacherous road of trying to find an agent, and that was scary and new. And thankfully, one was okay with me. I wasn't too bad for them. So,
So we're on to the fan questions now. So Spider Roses asked, "Is there anyone from the cast you want to work with again? I guess for Stranger Things or
oh man.
Terrifier."
Um, oh my gosh, I'd say if we're talking Stranger Things, I mean, all of them are doing such cool projects. I mean, Finn Wolfhard's directing and producing. I think that's so cool. I'd love to work with him on something. But Maya Hawke and Ethan Hawke are doing these amazing, amazing films. I saw Wildcat, I think last year, and I thought that was incredible. And everyone, I mean, it's all over the place. It's hard to pick one, but man, considering Terrifier, I would love. I felt like Elliot and I got robbed of like a few more scenes. We clicked and we had a great time on set. We wanted to see more Cole and Jonathan moments, but man, everyone's incredible. Lauren, David. I mean, it'd be a dream to work with any of them again. They're so talented.
Right. So Spider Roses also asked, "What was your favorite part to work on in Terrifier 3?"
I'd say the first like dorm room scene in Terrifier 3 was very, very fun. That was like my first day on set, and it was my first time really getting to know Elliot. And thankfully, I'd gotten to meet Alexa a time or two prior to this, so we were familiar with each other, and it was just electric. It was just very fun. It was a good time walking into Terrifier and being like, oh, there's no blood yet. It felt like a very like, normal movie. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this is great. But Damien's such a great director, and I loved watching them pick coverage and telling us to have more fun and try some things. So it was such a good like stepping into it day. But of course, the 3 days we spent with the chainsaw was pretty awesome too. That was
3 days?
3 days. Yeah. It was hilarious. I mean, it was
Oh my
insane. Yeah, thankfully Alexa and I just we we kept our head on strong and we were doing a lot of screaming, so we were drinking a lot of tea, and we were trying to stay in the zone while not losing our minds because it was we're living this chaos world in our head of oh
God.
my God, a clown with a chainsaw. But it was great. I mean, it was that was a roller coaster. That was one of the more like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is insane. I love it. I want more.
I know looking at the scene's like very popular now.
Oh man, I'm honored. I'm glad people love it. It was so fun.
I watched like I told you before, I saw like all the spoilers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh,
That movie's insane.
I know my poor mom and my sister, they get on TikTok and I'm like, I don't even know how it's getting to your phone, but their whole feed is like, oh my God, the chainsaw scene or the shower scene. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But they love it. They love it. They think it's hilarious.
Here now on to the last question. So, what got you into horror?
Oh, that's a great question. I think one of my favorite movies growing up was Jaws. Like when I saw Steven Spielberg's Jaws, I just like it like really changed something in my head. I fully fell in love with that. And I still stand by. I think that is one of the most intense movies that was so formative for me. But then from there, it led to finding John Carpenter, and I think that I still stand by that. Like The Thing, and then Halloween are just some of my favorites ever. But Wes Craven for doing Scream eventually is so awesome. So something about that genre, it's so fun and otherworldly, but yet it's so grounded and like everyone can get scared by something, and it's like how fun to, as a group, hopefully in a theater, watch something that's effective like that, makes you feel something. And I love it. I love it. But yeah,
Nice. So, that was all the questions. Thank you so much again for coming on. This was so much
thank
fun, and congratulations on this new role. And
you.
everyone watching, go watch Terrifier, only if you dare, because
Only if you dare.
yeah. So yeah,
Absolutely. Well,
thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you for
No,
having me.
no problem.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much. You as well.
Bye.